YouTube? This your boy Nigeria representing JVS here, and I got a quick review for something I'm so hype about. Really quick, I'm saying review. I really meant reaction. We're gonna get the review going later on, but I want to give you a quick reaction of something that I just got to see, and it's amazing. So, brought to you by Funimation Films, another long-awaited sequel to a franchise that I hope a lot of you guys are familiar with. But if you're not, I'm definitely going to make sure that you are in those theaters coming May 5th if you're a sub guy, Japanese sub guy, or May 7th and the 8th if you got to see the dub. But again, oh my God, the feelings. Code Geass, Lelouch, the Resurrection. This is the long-awaited sequel, about 10 years for the third of the saga. And man, oh man, the animation, crazy, like crazy. Um, Again, I watched both, so let me talk about the dub really quick. First of all, some of the dub actors in this movie are some of my favorite, and some of my favorite voice actors out there in the game. Period. Johnny Young Bosch, you might know him as the one of the original Black Rangers. Kate Higgins, Chris Sabat, everybody knows Chris All Might and Vegeta, like Jared Gilmore, like it's a stack. It's a stacked roster of very talented voice actors and actresses for the dub. But for the animation for both, crazy. The score, like the fight melody, if you're like really big into that, amazing. And then again, this franchise has a little bit of something for everybody. If like you're into big mega robot fights like Gundam and stuff like that, got it. Power adders, the Geass, got it. And then the drama, the killing, some of the action sequences is amazing. It's crazy. I got an opportunity to see it earlier. Thanks to the good people over at Funimation Films for getting it over for us to review. And man, like I said, you got May 5th coming up, where you're gonna get the Japanese with the subs. You can, if you're not a Japanese guy, you can see the dub version coming May 7th through the 8th, limited in theaters. You do not want to miss this. Like again, if you've been a fan of Funimation, you know that they're always going to deliver when they put out a big movie in the theaters. We've seen much success with My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball, obviously, and this does not disappoint at all. This is again a super amazing movie that I'm just not going to bear to break down the plot because we're going to do the review for you later. But as for my quick reaction, like, oh man, and I'm such a big, like, I'm really big on, besides like the action going on, I really love how the score carries the movie so good, and it just applies the drama. It's so beautiful, and then oh god. So anyway, y'all stay tuned because the review is coming. We're working on the review right away, but I want to give you my quick reaction, give you guys some time to prep, and be ready for it tonight. Tune in, JVS.
What's going on out there, YouTube? This is SEL0320, Joe Johnson 030, Sam, my man M, and we are here. Sam, my man M, that's actually pretty cool. We're here to give you guys a thought and dissection of the new Code Geass film. We were privy to be able to watch it early. I was gonna do like a more in-depth review a little bit later on with Nigeria, so you guys can get that a little bit later on. But what were you guys' authentic reactions to this movie?
Well, it was interesting. I was a fan of the show from about forever ago. I remember like when I first got to college on a spring break, I couldn't go nowhere, so I literally sat in the library at the school and binge watched the entire show. Just binge watched like both seasons of it, just like crushing 2 whole seasons in like a week. And I think I started a little bit before then. So I did have like, I wasn't really sorry because I thought the way, I don't know if, I won't spoil it for those who have seen it, but there was a surprise coming into it that I wasn't sure what to expect, but I liked it.
Okay. Yeah, me personally, I had no recollection of the series. I've never seen it at all. I didn't know it was kind of a hybrid of Gundam, Robotech, and just something else entirely, because it was a mystery behind it. You could tell that there's a lot of mythos there. There's a lot of rich fruit. I guess that's the best way of putting it. It's weird. We're sitting here talking about this, but we're not talking about the specifics of anything. But I mean, from the beginning of it, I think that aesthetically, the visuals look great. Absolutely. The lines, the animation style is on key, and we looked at it dubbed. The dubbing is actually really good. I could definitely hear some notable names out there. But as far as the voice acting, I thought that was really great. What did you think of the film, though?
I liked it in the regard of the antagonist in this film. Because
that was interesting, I guess.
Yeah, because I'm somewhat familiar with the series, but just kind of, if from my understanding, if you follow the series, it's like all the characters, like you see them pretty much dunk on everybody, so it was good. The antagonists are like new characters from what I understand, and don't really know what they're capable of. And once they show that in the actual movie, it's like, wow, like they might be a problem, so that have that conflict there is a good plot.
Yeah. I think one of the more interesting things is that our hero in the very beginning of it, he has no understanding of who he is. Like he's like a docile little child. Yeah. You can tell, like, he's just damaged. Like he's lost his mind. He's scared of everything. And C2, this, I don't know what to kind of call her. I don't know how to even describe her.
Yeah, she's kind of, she's always been her really kind of her own thing. She's kind of a mixture between like, I guess the closest would be like, Galadriel from Lord of the Rings, Kate Blanchett's character. Yeah. That's probably the closest character that I can think of, is that she's kind of like, she's always kind of like existed, kind of like been there, but kind of untouchable, right? Because we know she's immortal. Shouldn't be a spoiler, right? That's like from the canon of the series.
Yeah.
But I felt that we got to see a lot more of her character, a lot more of who she is and what she wants, in a way that I don't think that we'd really been seeing throughout both seasons. Yeah. For me, Code Geass is my favorite anime of all time. I've regularly said best anime, period. It's a mashup. You like mecha, it's got mecha, politics, it's got politics, teenage drama and slice of life. It's got it all. Mm-hmm. And I felt that, for a movie to be able to bring out with all the characters and like have all their flavor and not feel like it was just thrown all together at the end, it was pretty good. I was very very pleased with what I saw. So
yeah. And then I guess the character Lelouch too, you had said that something had happened to him before, and I guess you felt really like taken aback because you didn't know what was going to happen. Right. Like you legit had no forthright of what was going to progress forward, as much as like even like you talked about like with the villains, like we had no anticipation of what would or could happen. Yeah. And I think that honestly the way that they ended it as well as Gundam Wing did with Endless Waltz. With Endless Waltz, one of the things was like all the main characters, like from what we knew about them, got turned upside down, but then it had a real finite resolve. Like the way that this ends, it does leave some interesting things open, but more than anything, I think it like just ends the story pretty well. So I was going to be curious, like as far as the characters, how did you feel about the way they ended up in this without saying too much? I guess
that is yeah. I liked it. I think I definitely would be interested in seeing another movie. I thought that they did a good job of solving a major conundrum. I thought they did a great job of allowing the emotion, the richness for the way that it ends, but also allowing the characters to have new life at the same time, even as there's a resolution. It was, I was taken aback. I loved it, absolutely loved it. I am excited by the idea of getting maybe we'll get another season. Maybe we'll have a whole third season. That would be really cool. I
mean, the word in the street is this is actually doing really well, in the theaters. And we've seen with Dragon Ball Z, we've seen now with My Hero Academia, the movies are the gateway to new series and beyond. So hopefully progressionally this does happen. I was curious from you, Joe, being that you're an animator and really good artist, as far as the nightmares, that's what they are, right? Yeah. The design, the aesthetic, and the way that they utilize the nightmares in this movie versus any other, mecha. What did you think?
I thought it was pretty dope, especially the animation. Yeah, the animation is pretty crazy, especially in the scene.
Yep.
Well, there's one scene where they're underground. Mm-hmm. They have the nightmares underground, and some of the movements were to me it just surprised me because I was like, what? That thing can move like that? But yeah, you see them I guess normally on level ground or just out in the field or whatever. But that scene was wow, I didn't know that they were that fast, and that unpredictable in their movement, So the animation was dope. I definitely like the character design too. Granted, you see that throughout the series, but just with this film, I just noticed that the main characters have a completely different style than all the others, and they stick out on screen amongst other supporting characters, the hair color, the way they dress. If you notice, most of the main characters have brilliant green or brilliant red hair, so they stick out on screen when they're standing next to a civilian or just some random person. And it also gives each character has their own niche or and it's crazy to see them work together. So I think as a design aspect, this is definitely well thought out. Well thought out IP, I guess.
Yeah. And I think for me, one of the biggest draws with this is that I felt like I was always continuously one-upped mentally throughout this whole entire thing. What I mean by that is that not that I didn't understand what was going on, but I felt like there's information here somewhere that it's just not here. I just don't have information to support understanding where this is going to go, how this person is going to survive this, where this thing is going to happen. And I think that because of that, I think this is the perfect gateway drug, I guess, to go back and see all the rest.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because now I'm just so curious that I'm this relationship that they have, all of them, all centers around the main character. But it's there was never a point that I really trusted the main character. There was a lot of times I was should they give this man back his mental ability? Should he even have this Geass? Because it's for him to be as effective as he needs to be, there was something that was happening in the third act that C2 says to him that I was do you really want that though? Does he really need to have this ability? And I loved their interaction. C2 and Lelouch, interaction in this was just fascinating to me. It was probably the best thing about this for me. But I think the biggest thing is that there were always wheels turning in my head. Wow, this customer, this interaction with this person, what does this actually mean? I think that's one of the draws about this, that it brings me into this world and it immerses me throughout the whole entire thing. And I think that any, good anime should do that. It should make you want to know more. It makes you focus. There was never a point in when I was watching this, I was yeah, I'm looking at the aesthetics of the visuals and stuff. It's great. But I'm like, I'm focused on what is really gonna happen, or how this is gonna work out, or what is this character capable. I can't. His sister was asking him, was like, should this happen? Does this person really can do that? Does the Geass work that way? And I mean, I think even the even crazier thing was there was questions I was asking him that he was finding out new things that were happening. And I guess that's even more of a draw, I guess, for people that are longtime fans that are going to be like, man, you're going to get a surprise. You're going to get like great visuals and actions. And then if you're a newcomer like me, you're going to be like, man, I need to get on my game because I'm slacking. So, but no, I guess, I mean,
that was actually one of the most fun things for me is when we first got to see a Geass used for the first time. You're just like, oh, I was like, yes. That was such a fun moment because I was like, it took me back to like the first time I ever saw it used. I was like, ooh, I need popcorn. This is. I'll be here for a while.
Yo,
did it move for like 8 hours?
There was one moment in the beginning with C2 that me and him were just totally caught off guard. I was like, did he really just pull Attack on Titan on me? What the flip was that, dog? And he was like,
like, yeah, whatever.
Like, what you mean? He's like, you'll see. And I was like, what, really? And then I was like, after that happened, and I was like, well, does anybody else have the same thing? Like, I felt like a fish out of water. I just didn't have it. And I'm normally used to knowing all the information about everything. And so I think the other fascinating thing about this is that our main character versus the antagonist even more so felt the same as that way. This was the very first time that he really couldn't figure it out at all. And I was like, bro, I don't know how to help you. I don't got information to tell you what the capability is. Yeah. So, but the way that things go is really good. It's a really good film. So, but yeah, me and Nidja are going to go into more details in the review. But any closing thoughts?
I like how too, real quick, I like how too, like, characters that in this series that don't necessarily fight well, like are so vital to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is so that's rare to see in anime.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that you're not annoyed by, like characters you're not annoyed by. I was like, oh no, like, yeah.
Everybody serves their purpose. Like, there was one person that didn't even get in the mech or anything. He was just like, oh, I'm the tech guy. I'm like, okay. But you got personality, you got intrigue, and you got, like, you're useful. Like, there's a use for you. There's a need for you. But character connections were there. I could feel them. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm getting connected to this character. I want to know more about this character. I want to know who this character was. Yeah. But yeah.
I think that would be the main thing I would say. It's just that it's like, it's something that it's amazing for people that are existing fans. Again, this is one of my favorite. I personally say it's the best anime ever, and I know people are like, oh my gosh, that's whatever. Like, you can't, like, whatever. Forget it. It's my opinion, you know. But this movie I felt was a great way for people who are existing fans to get to relive and appreciate and have hope for where it can go, and at the same time, people who never seen any episodes of Code Geass are able to enjoy it and then look with interest and hope towards her series. So I thought it was a very ambitious undertaking, and I thought it did well. So
yeah. Well, we shall retreat. Definitely go and check out this film. Remember, we are going to go into a more detailed review, character dissections, and other things that me and Nidja are going to go over in this. Maybe a little bit of spoilers, maybe not. We'll see. All right, keep it locked. JVS, we ain't going to stop. Peace, guys.